So, welcome back. You want to start with the verse on this one?
But
Because we're starting brand new.
so this is completely new?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have several verses we want to read tonight. We'll start with Matthew 18:15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and talk to him. His fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Basically, that means don't go talking behind people's back. Go ahead and address them directly. Proverbs 6:16 through 19. I'll read it again. I've already read it twice tonight, but it's important. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. Also Leviticus 19:16. You shall not go about as a talebearer among your people, nor shall you take a stand against the life of your neighbor. I am the Lord. Deuteronomy 5:20 says, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And we'll come to this one later.
So, we hope everyone made it to the channel. And what is
There's
that
50 secretly watching.
one? What is this one? That one's closed out. So, Appalachian, all right. Everybody made it in. I'm glad everybody knows to be on Lead Tracker East channel. We was hoping to address these people.
That was the last one that was secretly watching, not
Yeah.
in the chat.
Yeah. We was hoping to address these people who has been spreading some lies and rumors and things like that.
That you actually considered a friend.
Yeah, I thought they were good people at one time. So, hey, Appalachian Mountains first to be here.
All right.
Let's see. Let's go to comments.
Thank you for your patience and to keep logging back into them.
He said, are we back for good this time?
We
yes,
think so.
We think so. And also, Shout Tracker Jay, Satan is the accuser of the brethren. He sure is. And Jody says, I hope so. Hope we're all back. And, there's a lot of other, like War Chief and all them. I hope they can we message them or something?
Who?
War Chief and them, make sure they're on the Lead Tracker E channel. We had to use this channel because the other one got shut down temporarily because we wanted to address those lies that are being told. But Appalachian said, I'm glad to see y'all again. We're glad to see you again too. And apparently, if they want to talk about you, they don't want to really talk to you. And they don't.
Then you might clear something up.
Might clear something up.
Couldn't have that.
And I'd like to have. And even the Artic Cat person they were talking about other kind of lies.
Yeah, and it was either the things that they were saying or things that were getting reported, but the things they were saying may be what YouTube said went against community standards, but they're not things that haven't been discussed before.
Yeah.
So.
And maybe they did that on purpose.
The Bigfoot lovers are revolting against us.
Yeah. So, hey, there's War Chief. So one of the things that, one of the lies that was brought up, which they said that I lied in an interview.
And you notice we even had a question mark on our title of the other channel.
Yeah.
It said, you caught us in a lie, question mark.
And we'll get to some that there's more lies that we got wind of. And we'll get to those in just a minute. But like Artic Cat come up and she or he, sound like a she anyway.
Oh, did it?
Well, Artic Cat. If
I
it's
think
guy,
that's
it'd
a
be
name
Arctic
of like
Dog.
a machine too, like a little four-wheeler type thing too.
Well,
Who knows? A pot stirrer and somebody that's spouting out about something that they personally don't know what they're talking about.
now there was
We offer for them to be a guest.
Arctic Cat said that I had shot a
You gotta be
Bigfoot.
careful what you're saying.
Oh yeah,
They'll use it again.
that I had
Pewed.
pew a Bigfoot in that interview, and they were saying that I said that, but that's not what I said. But that video has disappeared completely.
Not our video, their video.
But luckily, we have a clip of that video that will correct that lie. So, for everyone who's here right now, we're going to go ahead and play this video. Remember, they're saying that in this video, in this interview, I said that I pewed a Bigfoot. And that means, pewed a Bigfoot. Yeah. And I never said that. I never said that in the interview. But they're trying to change the words around to try to make us out to be liars.
Because they love these things.
Yeah.
And they don't like that we tell people that they're dangerous and they're all bad. And so they're hearing what they want to hear so that they can.
Yeah. So they're trying to change it. And we tell the truth.
We're just trying to keep them safe.
And, we have that with God. We have to tell the truth. And we even tell people, we've had people try to get us to lie. And we say, no, not for the things that we do. We have to stay spiritual. We have to stay, trustworthy. We have to tell the truth, because that goes against, what we're doing.
Or we won't have protection.
And we won't have protection if we're lying out there and doing stuff like that. So other people are trying to change words and trying to manipulate things. But luckily, we have the video that we're going to show you in just a second. Now, remember, they said that I pewed in that interview, they're saying that I pewed a Bigfoot. I never said that. So let's play this video real fast. And when you listen, I talk about that. Luckily, we have that video. But I talk about it, and not one time did I say that I pewed a Bigfoot, like they're saying, and they're calling me a liar. They said, "You said that. I know you did. You're a liar." And I said, "I've never said that." And I've told people I've never.
They said we wrote in the book that he did too.
Yeah, and that is another lie. But let's listen to this video, and in this interview, if you hear me say I pewed a Bigfoot, then that makes me a liar. But I never said that, and here's the video to prove that.
Mr. Jerry, actually, very intriguing for me because of my background. As most of y'all know, that I've taught survival and wilderness survival and tracking skills, primitive life skills for near 20 years now. And Jerry does it also. I'm gonna give you the floor, man, and just start from the beginning, man. We want to know all about you. I mean, I'm curious.
I come from a medicine people background. My mother was a medicine person. My grandfather's. So
Let me stop that for just 1 second, because I want to explain that I had trouble with the phone in the beginning, and I couldn't connect with the show. So Junior didn't know that I could still see him on the TV. And he's talking in the chat going, "Oh, I got some tough questions for him. Because he's going to have to answer to a whole bunch of questions." But when it finished, I actually was teaching him about tracking, especially with the spider webs and what to look for in certain things. He was trying to set me up. He was trying to, because he didn't know I was watching him. He goes, "Oh yeah, I've got some good questions." He's going to have to answer all this stuff. So when you listen to his voice in the very beginning, he's going to say like that, because he thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about, especially in tracking. But I actually taught him a lot that he didn't know. But listen to his voice, because that's a cynical, condescending, manipulative voice, kind of a hyena-ish kind of thing, because he thinks he can correct me or he can get me in tracking techniques and things like that. But I actually taught him, and I actually, after the interview, one of his friends came on, and I helped him with a mind protection technique. I told him why the Bigfoot was on the left side and why he made it out. And I helped him with his dreams to not dream, and helped him. I helped his friend too. And now they're coming back and trying to make me a liar. So when we start off with this part of the interview, and this is from his interview, he's got that cynical laugh because he thinks he's going to try to catch me in the lie, or that I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about tracking. So that's what got me also, because I was watching him talk to all these other people on the net, and how he was going to, make me or try to catch me and not answering or be able to answer any questions. But I answered every question, didn't hesitate, and I also gave him more answers than what he asked. And so at the end, he may be why he was upset, because I answered all the questions, and I even gave him a lesson and gave him answers that he
But
never
at the
had
end, he
before.
didn't seem upset. He seemed, and this is from me listening to it.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, so the fact they call me a liar at all is even.
Yeah.
They don't even know me. I wasn't even there for what they're talking about.
So he says, I'm curious. I want to know.
He sounded real nice at the end.
But in the beginning, he was condescending,
He was
because
going to call you out.
he was going to call me out. He didn't know I was watching him while I was trying to get my
Listening.
phone on. And but you're going to hear in this interview, and not only that, those two, Junior and Senior, were in a Bigfoot hot zone, which they had to print in the morning in their camp when they went to sleep, when everybody's asleep, which I shouldn't have done. But I was on call, and I stayed up waiting, because if they needed me, I was going to drive 2.5 hours to go and track for them if anything happened.
Is that in this clip? Because he's the one that
Yeah,
talked about that.
It's in this clip too. So these two who are telling lies about me, I was going to go help. I was going to put myself and my life in jeopardy to go and help them, to go track and find them. And these are the people who I thought were good people.
And won't respond on, won't come on to clear it up.
And so I found out, because it is a small community, that they're talking about me and call me a liar behind my back.
In several groups.
In several groups. Many areas.
That affects our, not as important, but it affects the sales of our books, so our income. It affects more importantly, it affects the knowledge that's in that book, the books that we're trying to get out there to people to keep them safe, including these foolish Bigfoot lovers. The whole reason for our Watching Wednesdays, to keep people safe. That's all we care about. That's our mission. That's what we care about. And so for these people to lie and get their noses out of joint and get mad and get their feelings hurt because they're Bigfoot lovers, that's totally different than calling somebody. You can disagree with us, but that's totally different than calling somebody a liar and then basically a thief too, which we'll bring up in some more stuff that we're going to get to. Big difference.
War Chief is wondering where his monitor tool is.
Hold on, let me see if I can do that in this. I've not had a live in this channel before. If I have, I don't remember it. And I'll have to add you, War Chief. Thank you for pointing that out. Shadow Tracker J too.
Yeah.
So I must have had a live one time.
So also, you're going to hear his cynical laugh in the beginning, because he thinks he's going to try to catch me in something, which, like I said, I answered every question, and I gave him more information, and so I taught him by the end of the stream, and I also helped his friend cope with PSD and things that happened to him also. I also answered a lot of questions that his friend had. So now they're coming on and saying that I said that I pew-pewed a Bigfoot in that interview, which I never said that. And then we had another mouth out there saying the same thing, saying, well, that it didn't, they said that you pew-pewed a Bigfoot. And then they said, no, I heard you say that. I said, no, I never said that, but I also call him an idiot too. So in this video, if you listen, you're going to hear his condescending laugh, his cynical laugh in the beginning, but you're also going to listen to exactly what I said in that interview. So we're going to go ahead and play that, and we'll be right back and talk about it.
Mr. Jerry, actually, very intriguing for me because of my background. As most of y'all know, that I've taught survival and wilderness survival and tracking skills, primitive life skills for near 20 years now. And Jerry does it also. I'm going to give you the floor, man, and just start from the beginning, man. We want to know all about you. I mean, I'm curious.
I come from a medicine people background. My mother was a medicine person, my grandfather's. So we've passed down healing ways throughout the generations, and it happened to fall on me. Except I wanted to find out more than what I was being told. So I left home and, I asked my mom, well, I was talking with her, and I said that I'm going to have to leave again. And she asked me why. And I said, well, if you can teach me everything I need to know about this world, I can stay here. And, she looked at me and gave me a hug, and she said, I'll see you when you get back.
Now, folks, I will say this. Jerry impressed me quite well last week when I was me and my father was having a little bit of a outing in eastern Oklahoma, and I had an interesting night, to say the least, with some audio and some stuff going on, and we discussed that on Trinity Paracryptid last week. But Jerry was literally about 2 hours south of me, and he was on standby if it got bad. And he literally was on standby to shoot up there and come find me. And I appreciate that, Jerry. I wanted to say thank you so much for having my back on that night. And man, you was right there. I mean, you knew exactly where I was at. Very few people would actually know that area that well. Where does Bigfoot come into this? I'm curious because I know you're out in the woods a lot. You live out there. I mean, you're down in Antlers, Oklahoma. And I know you're dealing with them because we're dealing with down there ourselves. My father is actually not very far from you right now. There's 3 troops running that area around Antlers, that stretch. There's actually more than that, but 3 that I've dealt with. He's got a white scar down the side of his face. And he usually, if you see him, there's something going on. It's almost like there's a territorial battle going on in between his troop and the juveniles down there right now. So they're firing back and forth. And the reason I'm saying this is to let people know that area, even to all of us researchers that come into that area, is a fairly active area. I'd say it's almost as active as up around Broken Bow Lake on the backside in between there and Arkansas. So my original question was, have you had any aggressive behavior in that area?
Not in this area, but I have in the Clayton, Oklahoma area, which is not maybe about 20, 30 miles from here.
Oh, yeah. I know Clayton real well. Matter of fact, Big Boy with the scar runs that area real well. Dad got drugged halfway down a ridge in a tent in Clayton, Oklahoma. It just ran up. His girlfriend was in it. And what's funny is it waited until I went to sleep right before dawn.
When they ask for proof, I keep telling people, we'll come to Antlers, I'll take you right to them. I'll show you where they're at, or, because I am from here. We're kind of like the guards here, and I took a shot at one just to get them to lay down because I didn't have a clear shot, but I had them on thermals and just kind of leaning it out there and taking the best shot by looking at that thermal. They took cover after that. And so that gave me a little space to, keep pulling back. But I knew my other friends were out there, and if I was to really start in with this, that, they would have been killed easy. I teach the ancient histories and the ancient, hieroglyphs and everything. And we see the mixture in the hieroglyphs in the Egyptian Dendra zodiac. And we also see it also in the Aztec sunstone. Their history is also in there about the mixing of the animal, mixing of the human, and how it made, a Bigfoot. And then, these it's just a mixture of animals and a mixture of human.
So you're
all
saying
mixed
that,
in one.
in your view, Sasquatch is a conglomerate of different, for lack of better terms, on scientific level, DNA structures, or different, they're a mixture of other animals together.
Yeah, and if they would run a test like that, we're testing for DNA of a serpent, testing for DNA of a land animal or a ram, and we're also testing for DNA of a fish. We're testing for DNA of a bird.
Yeah.
They would run tests like that. These things would show up.
Well, that's we have ran DNA, and they come back inconclusive. They say that they're a certain percentage human and primate, but then they have other, it's interesting that you say that, because we do have, certain groups and people have produced that evidence for in saying that they could be.
They're only a predator. And in our history, and in many tribes' history, recounts, they're called the arrival of evil. But at that time, they didn't have, the perfect human face. They had, it was more of a disfigurement.
Yeah.
But we were also taught that they're cannibalistic, or they eat man, and that they have a bite like fire and paralyzing. That's the same attributes also of a spider. We're taught that it's going to evolve to look more like us, to become a better predator, to get as close as it can to us.
You talking to me, I can't believe that you brought up the spider. That's one of the oldest teachings there is. Not very many people, they won't talk about Nephilim and angels and stuff like that. You go even farther back than that, and it talks about the spider. And it's crazy that you're actually able to bring that up. If you're really dealing with the ancient ones, with the spiders, why are you even staying around? We as the warriors, when there are times we have to vacate. And if you're really dealing with the Chapia, if you're really dealing with the ancient ones, buddy, that gun ain't going to help you.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but, I've got a medicine bloodline. A warrior has to go back with all the ancient knowledges to be that man-child, that birthing that they talk about in the Bible.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people aren't warriors. A lot of people don't accumulate all the information before they go back. And when you know all that, to connect to the earth, and that truth is the only language in the spirit world. Being in the confrontation with a Bigfoot, to me, I just know that I have to take care of what's in front of me. And I don't see it as a life and death situation, because I just see it as either this is going to be my greatest last challenge, or this is going to be my greatest challenge. No matter what you're looking at, no matter what the numbers are, you don't show fear to anything. This is our world, It's not a predator's world. But also, a lot of the Choctaws, they don't have this information. With my family, we have the oldest house in Antlers. It's the only house that was standing after the tornado in 45. There's energies there, because whenever that tornado happened, a lot of people perished in this town. So we had the biggest house at that time. So we took all the furniture out. They put all the bodies in there, and people came in to, collect their family, and energies did stay there. And so we've been raised around, what people call ghosts, apparitions, orbs, sounds, movements, voices, shadows. So, our medicine background is different than the normal, I guess you would call the normal civilized Choctaw.
The mind protection technique.
Now, in that stream, about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I say that in a handheld thermal, I use my pinky to balance the barrel, and using the thermals, I took the best shot that I could. And this is on private property, private land. But I also got thermals of one that was coming straight down. I was also one that was up on a ridge behind me. I looked down, and I was in its shadow, and I also turned around to take a shot at that, but it was in the sun. and it was gone. It got out of the way. But with those thermals, I could see two going to my left, so I was getting surrounded. And seeing those two going off around to my left side, I used that thermal and could only keep them in vision with that thermal, and I took a shot. I took a pew pew, but I never said I pew pewed a Bigfoot. And then I said it was only to get them to lay down, to get them to quit surrounding me. And I was also out there with 400 other hunters. And I knew that if I started in on this, that they would be killed quickly, because they only took one bullet out there each. Because where we hunt, deer are plentiful. And we always only go out with one bullet. Unless you need two deer, then you would take two bullets. But we've never, put more than one bullet or took more than one bullet, because it's you don't need it. There's so many there. So this person, even this Artic Cat person, was saying that I lied because I said that I pew pewed a Bigfoot, and I never said that in that interview. And that video right there proves it. Now, this is what was sent to us. This is another thing. Let me make sure I got the right one here. Okay, it says this is what. Here he goes. Now, a friend sent this in and said, I got cut down about my friendship with you and Ella a couple of days ago, saying you lied on an interview with Gary Spikes Jr. That was told to me by Gary Spikes Sr.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. And so they're talking about as they're
They don't need to be giving anybody a hard time about. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Well, they're.
I'm gonna go get our coffee.
Well, they're talking about us behind our back, and they're saying that we're lying, but we got proof right there. I never lied in that interview. I answered every question, and I even helped them. So a friend sent this and said, I got cut down because I'm friends with y'all, and they're saying that you lied in that interview. I never lied in that interview. But they did shut down their channel because we was going to get to that. Also, he says, I think that's been said also about shot in the bush because you've seen a Sasquatch, and that is too dangerous to shoot not knowing for sure what was in the bushes. I think that's the most of the complaints. This is private property. Nobody goes in this area. We have had poachers in that area, and we've had gunfights out there. We've had to chase people off the land because they were poaching. So we have had gunfights. We know what's out there. We know who's supposed to be out there. But this is private property, and you have to be invited to go to this area. And it's a place. It's got a cabin, lots of land. We go there, or I used to. I don't go there anymore. Me and that friend separated ways because he thought I was lying about the Bigfoots on his property. And so we parted ways, but eventually he bought the book, and people were saying that he's crazy because he started reporting that there's Bigfoots on my property. But you have to be invited to his property. There's nobody, this is his land. Now, I do it here the same thing. This is our land, 30 acres of it, or 29 acres. There's nobody else out here, and there's miles of just forest area. And we know the shadows. So if we're going to shoot in our backyard where there's nobody at, that's nobody else's business.
That's right.
Our neighbors shoot in their backyard. We hear them shoot. We hear neighbors up the road shoot.
We're glad they're protecting themselves.
We don't care what they do. They know where we're at. They don't shoot at our house. We don't shoot at theirs. We know where everybody's at. And that's none of their business anyway.
And you don't even hunt anymore.
Yeah, I don't hunt.
We also don't tell people to go out hunting them.
No.
We say defend yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely defend yourself. Deter them from the property. We don't tell anybody to go hunting. If someone is really infested with them, generally we give them methods to deter. We literally have gone so many times to their properties, even cut down blinds with our hands, cut down clean wood lines. I'm talking with no power tools, just ourselves to try to help. Sometimes we have a chainsaw available to us, sometimes not. Old-fashioned elbow grease and labor, just to help people to keep them safe, because they call us because they're being harassed and stalked by these friendly forest creatures.
Is Susie in the room?
She just got in the room.
Susie is here. All right. Hey, Deborah Muley's here too.
All right.
The Night Watch.
Um,
Bernice. Oh wow, good.
So we tell people to deter them, and if you can look back at past live streams, if someone's really having trouble and it's an emergency situation right then, we tell them go. Is there somebody you can go visit for a couple weeks until things settle down there? We don't tell people to go hunt them and stir things up for them, which is what this Arctic Cat was trying to make it sound like. We want you to avoid them. We want you to remove their hiding spots from your property so that they move out back further into the forest. We're not telling anybody to go get in trouble. This is why we say don't gift them, don't communicate with them.
Yeah.
These people that are upset with
away
us, some of them are getting mind speak. And the verse for that is test the spirits. I know one of y'all will put that in. Do I have it? Test the spirits. 1 John 4:1. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world. Ask these things. If you've got such great mind speak, ask them who is Jesus. Ask them who is Yeshua.
And what their purpose is.
Ask what is their purpose. Who does God say they are? See if they sit there and these are not normal creatures, and these are not good creations. Even Gary Spikes Jr. said about the Nephilim.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Which demon are you going to bank on? Which demon are you going to let your child go to if they beckon to him in the woods? It's just foolishness. The thing is, if they're wrong, people die. If we're wrong and people avoid these things, they're just safer.
Yeah, they're still safe.
They've removed the hiding spots that they should not even have there for regular human predators from their yard. Another thing I was going to say, when it's really overwhelming and there's just too many out there and the place is heavily infested, we say call the military.
Yeah.
Let them come in and
deal with
clean
it.
out. Let them deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want anybody opening up a big old can of worms out there and getting way more than what they can handle. But you better believe we want you to defend yourself. We know too many people who've had, and it seems like it's almost always coming after the young children. These stupid old men that want to go out there and gift, these lonely old women that want to go out there and gift. You're on your own. Do what you want. But when you're saying things that are leading children to go out there and taking your chances, what if it's your grandchild? Because they built those blinds all around my grandchild's.
They're not putting their grandchildren
I'm not playing.
out there. They're talking about your grandchild. They're not putting theirs out there.
Yeah, they're not going to put theirs out there. When they talk about having relationships with them, they're not talking about actually sitting down and patting them and combing its hair, giving it a hug. They're getting mind visions. They're getting mind speak. They're getting demonic voices in their head. They're getting demonic trickery in their head. They're getting deceived. They can't see it. They're going to get mad about it. They're going to flip out. They're the Bigfoot gifters. They're in the mating ritual with these things that they don't even realize that that's what's going on. They're food in the pantry. sorry if that hurts their. No, I'm not sorry. If it hurts their feelings, it hurts their feelings. You know, you don't. Which predator are you? Pick a predator out there that can kill your child or your grandchild or your mama, your elderly, because these are the people that they go after the most. Which one to you is okay to go ahead and take a chance on and to bank on and say, you know, maybe they will hurt you, maybe they won't. You know, it just, these people are so silly. A human predator, a PD file, will groom someone for years before they actually attack. They'll be the most trusted family member, and that's a real human being. And they'll do it for years before they actually attack. There are people that are literally cannibals and serial killers whose families say, oh, and they're really genuinely clueless. They're like, I never would have thought. I just had no idea that they're going out there raping and murdering. And I didn't know because they weren't like that with me. But they were like that with someone else. This is what we're saying to you. Whether it hurts your feelings or not.
So that was one lie taken care of already.
And Arctic Cat had several lies in this chat on the other thing, the things that they were saying. We were hoping to go through and read them.
Well, the other one was,
address them.
They said in that interview that I talked about a 12-foot spider.
That was a lie.
And I've never said a 12-foot spider. I said I was tracking a 5-foot spider. And that's when I came up on all those Bigfoots. So that's another lie.
Another lie that they got caught in.
Yeah. So Artic Cat is a liar. They've already told 2 lies and said that I did it, which I just showed that video. I didn't say I pew-pewed a Bigfoot. I said I shot at 2 of them to put them down, to get them to not continue to try to surround me.
We do have a very close relationship with someone that had to put one down that was attacking her younger relative and the infant. As they were walking to the car, it was attacking them.
Yeah. We
tell people if you have to, absolutely defend yourself, and they did the right thing.
They sure did.
But you can expect trouble. If you can avoid the situation, do it, because you can expect trouble, because then here comes all the MIB, besides the idiot Bigfoot lovers out there. Here comes the unnamed authorities and different game wardens, all the people that are there doing the cover-ups to insist that you say it was a bear, it was an alligator attack, it was wild hogs, wild dogs, whatever. And then they try to get you to file a false report, so then they can get you either way. If you go back and say that, no, it really wasn't that, or, they're trying to get you in a lie, they'll harass you up for years afterwards. So we definitely don't recommend anybody just go looking to be able to kill one, because they're tracking these things. They know about these things.
So I want to, because some people may have just came in again. Now, the first lie was that I said that I pew-pewed a Bigfoot, and then that's the lie that Gary Jr. caught me in. So I want to play this video again just for the 3.5 minute, just to where at the end you're going to hear what I said, just so whoever came in late may, because this is the first lie that we've corrected. So I'm going to play it again, and remember, the lie is that I said that I pew-pewed a Bigfoot. And they're saying, did you not say that? I said, no, no one ever said that. They said, you said that in that interview. So they were calling me a liar then. And that's also what they're saying, that these other people were saying I lied about. I never said that. So I'm going to play the first 3.5 minutes of this video, and you're going to hear that I never said that I pew-pewed one. Be right back.
Mr. Jerry, actually, very intriguing for me because of my background. As most of y'all know, that I've taught survival and wilderness survival and tracking skills, primitive life skills for near 20 years now. And Jerry does it also. I'm gonna give you the floor, man, and just start from the beginning, man. We want to know all about you. I mean, I'm curious.
I come from a medicine people background. My mother was a medicine person, my grandfather's. So we've passed down healing ways throughout the generations, and it happened to fall on me. Except I wanted to find out more than what I was being told. So I left home and, I asked my mom, well, I was talking with her and I said that I'm going to have to leave again. And she asked me why. And I said, well, if you can teach me everything I need to know about this world, I can stay here. And, she looked at me and gave me a hug and she said, I'll see you when you get back.
Now, folks, I will say this. Jerry impressed me quite well last week when I was me and my father was having a little bit of a outing in eastern Oklahoma, and I had an interesting night, to say the least, with some audio and some stuff going on, and we discussed that on Trinity Paracryptid last week. But Jerry was literally about 2 hours south of me, and he was on standby if it got bad. And he literally was on standby to shoot up there and come find me. And I appreciate that, Jerry. I wanted to say thank you so much for having my back on that night. And man, you was right there. I mean, you knew exactly where I was at. Very few people would actually know that area that well. Where does Bigfoot come into this? I'm curious because I know you're out in the woods a lot. You live out there. I mean, you're down in Antlers, Oklahoma. And I know you're dealing with them because we're dealing with down there ourselves. My father is actually not very far from you right now. There's 3 troops running that area around Antlers, that stretch. There's actually more than that, but 3 that I've dealt with. He's got a white scar down the side of his face. And he usually, if you see him, there's something going on. It's almost like there's a territorial battle going on in between his troop and the juveniles down there right now. So they're firing back and forth. And the reason I'm saying this is to let people know that area, even to all of us researchers that come into that area, is a fairly active area. I'd say it's almost as active as up around Broken Bow Lake on the backside in between there and Arkansas. So my original question was, have you had any aggressive behavior in that area?
Not in this area, but I have in the Clayton, Oklahoma area, which is not maybe about 20, 30 miles from here.
Oh, yeah. I know Clayton real well. Matter of fact, Big Boy with the scar runs that area real well. Dad got drugged halfway down a ridge in a tent in Clayton, Oklahoma. It just ran up. His girlfriend was in it. And what's funny is it waited until I went to sleep right before dawn.
When they ask for proof, I keep telling people, we'll come to Antlers, I'll take you right to them. I'll show you where they're at, or, because I am from here. We're kind of like the guards here, and I took a shot at one just to get them to lay down because I didn't have a clear shot, but I had them on thermals and just kind of leaning it out there and taking the best shot by looking at that thermal. They took cover after that. And so that gave me a little space to, keep pulling back. But I knew my other friends were out there, and if I was to really start in with this, that, they would have been killed easy. I teach the ancient histories and the ancient, how.
So right there, I said I took a shot just to get them took a pew just to get them to lay down and not continue circling me. So this Artic Cat person was saying that they said, did you not say that you shot one or you pew-pewed one? And I said, no, I never said that. They said, yes, you did in that interview. Well, that's a clip from that interview. That's the exact words that I said. So that's one of the lies that is a lie.
Wonder why the video's lost.
Yeah, and their video is lost. So there's another one. Of course, they said that I said a 12-foot spider. I never said that. In the interview, I said a 5-foot spider.
What are we up to, 4 lies?
Something. Now, here's another one. And this was about, I had a tracking camp. Now I'm going to show that tracking camp flyer. Now, the thing that you can't see on top, it says tracking, and then it says signs, prints, unseen movement. And these are all the things I'm teaching in this course. during this time: physical training, body enhancement, endurance, hand-to-hand combat, mixed martial arts, boxing, training, weapons training, spear, staff, crossbow, knives, long rifle, short rifle, handheld training, tactical and quick fire, survival training, forest, mountain, terrain situations, trap setting, spiritual guidance, and mind training. That is also for $500 for 30 days that you're going to stay with me in the field.
This was before we were together. But this was one of the reasons that I was like, holy smoke. How are they saying because back then he couldn't defend himself. He had been banned from a bunch of groups. And so they would come in, they would hurl insults at him, but he was banned or blocked on Facebook, so that he couldn't respond. He couldn't defend himself there either, just like tonight with what happened with the other channel. And so he couldn't defend himself, and I was researching, because the Bigfoot lovers that I was trying to learn anything from to know exactly what was going on in my area, I could tell that they didn't know what they were talking about so many things. They knew how to make a cast, and they knew how to communicate, gift the Bigfoots, right? But they didn't even know as much as what I was seeing. I literally drew a map one time for a group of them, and with the map, they couldn't find the blinds that I was telling them exactly where they were. So there you go. But anyway, I was seeing him just get trashed in the Facebook comments in the groups, and I came in there and I had already researched and saw things like that. It was one of the flyers that I had seen in researching him, and I was like, wow, that's an incredible price. 30 days for all that? That's insane. 24/7, 30 days for that? And this was several years ago. And so I went in there and I was saying, you can call this man, you can say you don't believe what he's saying, you don't believe with the conclusions that he's reached, but that's way different than calling this man a con man or a liar, because everything I'm looking up shows exactly what he's saying, and a con man wouldn't charge that kind of price for that.
And I knew that to train somebody for 30 days would cost more than that, because you got to feed somebody 3 meals a day,
including food
and water and gas to go here and there to the places we got to go. Any essential things that they need. $500 is not going to really cover them for a whole month, but I was going to use my resources too to help them. I just wanted to teach, and I just wanted to train them.
and to be safe out there. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the BFRO prices, and this is for a weekend excursion. And it's like that, and you have to bring your own food, and you have to bring your own tent, your own this, your own that.
So I was charging $500 for 1 month. That's 30 days. 3 meals a day, housing, gas, paper, tools, writing utensils, everything that you would need. And then we looked at some regular prices of other things. Babysitters, $20 an hour. And
We looked this up today.
and we're 24 hours on this. And this little camp right here, I think it's 1 week or something, or maybe it's
It's a week. I think that one's a week.
I think it's a week.
You see the dates there.
1,700 to 5. I can't hardly see the numbers. 1,830, 45, 1,775, 1,775, 1,006 or 575. That's for that little camp.
Over $1,500 for 1 week.
Yeah, and that's another 1,800 right there. 1,700 for 1 week, and we're doing 500 for 30 days, 24/7.
And
Self-defense by itself, $75 a session, which we're teaching
By
every
an
day.
hour.
Yeah, for about an hour. For a fitness trainer, it can get up to $100 an hour, or $300 a month. I think is what it was.
that's the boxing one.
Oh, that was the boxing one.
Well, I was saying this is the boxing.
Oh, okay. This is the boxing one, which is or $120 an hour or $150 per month, basic rate. And that one is the packages, which can range from $300 to $1,200 a month. And then this is just a self-defense course, $200 an hour up to $50 to $200 an hour. And also, this one is a Native American storyteller for $250 an hour
Minimum.
So
And I didn't even cover everything that's on that list.
So our friend gets this. It says, okay, yes, he said you took everyone's $500 and didn't give it back to the ones you were teaching after that one guy messed up and fell asleep.
Give us some names, sir.
But if we can make a phone call,
Okay.
Susie, we're going to give you a call.
And I would like to say also that when we first met, you came to help me because they were stalking my grandson. These friendly forest creatures. There was a lot going on. But when you and another tracker came down, you drove all the way from Oklahoma. You didn't have a car at the time. You borrowed a car to do it. Didn't ask me for one dime. And we all tracked together, and you didn't ask for anything for that. Okay. Susie,
So, Susie, we're going to give you a call. Like she just posted, Susie's grandson was one of those candidates.
from that very session that he's lying about.
And we knew that they had to travel a long way. That's gas. It's all that. So, we waived half of that. And the other half, we bought the young man a tent.
Yep.
Hey.
Did I cut you off? Hey, Susie, we're going to put this phone up close. Okay, Halito.
Howdy, Joe. How are you guys tonight?
Good. We're just trying to do some correction on what some people are saying about us. And,
Well, I'm happy to help.
all right. So, could you kind of give us a background? Because I remember you was raising funds and to get him to the course. You wanted him to go through the course, and I don't.
Yeah, some of our friends actually joined in and helped us get him here, and because we were all the way in Montana, so he had to make the trip and come down from there. And we thought it was a good thing for him to come down and spend time with you guys and learn what he could. That was vital. He was 17 when he came down.
Yeah, he was a young man.
So, and you took care of him, bought him shoes, got him a tent, if I recall.
Big knife.
Fed him, and a teenage boy is always a lot to feed.
We also bought him a big survival knife, and
He learned so much from you. He
And
also
did
learned
a
how to not fall asleep.
yeah. But that's military training, and once he went to the boot camp after that, how did he do there?
He did so much better. He graduated in 5 months with 2 diplomas and honors.
Oh, yeah. I was telling him when we're gonna do. I said we're gonna do 20 push-ups. In the military, you go 1, 2, 3, 1, and he was like, that's 2.
we had that same conversation.
I said, but when you get in the military, this is how it goes: 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And so when he went to the boot camp afterwards, he knew what to expect, especially with that too.
Yeah, well, he did great. He had no issues in that in the youth challenge.
Oh,
He just came out through that with flying colors. We were so proud of him.
I remember seeing that.
I think you had something to do with the structure of that, with him coming down and spending the time he did with you.
Yeah, I was telling him this is how it is in the military. This is how they will do you. And I remember there was a hill. It was a 45-degree angle. It's about 100 yards, a football field length up. And we started at the bottom of that hill. We would sprint all the way up it. We'd turn around and sprint all the way down. And about the third time, he's like, do we really have to sprint all the way down? I said, okay, well, we'll walk down. And we sprinted a couple more. And he goes, how many more do we have to do?
He was a little soft.
But he got stronger and stronger. I mean, we did push-ups, sit-ups. We ran, we walked, and everything. I was proud of him too. But you know, I know that I gave him his sleep time, and that's whenever I said, this is your sleep time. This is when you rest because you got duty tonight. We're going to take shifts, and I was taking shifts too.
Right.
But I found out that he was on Facebook, texting his friends during his sleep time.
Yeah.
And I was going, you still got to pull your duty. I got to pull mine. And, you know, I caught naps when it was my turn. I said, I'm napping, you know. And we got in that situation because we did get Bigfoots coming in on us. And we had them had them on thermal and night vision. And I was like, you can't fall asleep. This is it's a deadly time right now. And that's
location.
Yeah, in location. I said, if you fall asleep, you got to go home. And he looked at me. I said, don't fall asleep. You got to stay awake. You got to stay on guard. I said, I'm out here with you, and I'm supposed to be sleeping, but I have to be out here with you because of this situation. And it didn't take too much longer after that. His eyes, because he didn't get his sleep time, and his eyes were getting droopy. I was like, come on, stay awake with me. And so I had to stand guard over him the rest of that night till daybreak. And I was like, geez, I can't pull him in. I can't. He was asleep. And,
yeah, he learned a valuable lesson. He needed to.
Yeah, he did. And if that was me too, and if I got taught that same way, I would have realized how important it is. Because in the military, if you fall asleep on duty, you could jeopardize your entire platoon.
Exactly.
And people could get killed.
People could die.
Yeah, people die.
And it's the same here.
Yeah. But I know that when he went to the basic training or the boot camp afterwards, I already knew he was going to do good.
Yeah, he did great when he did it then. He learned a lot and he applied it. And now he's in Idaho and building his own cabin.
Look at
Wow.
that. And we also stress that, that invite is still open. If he ever wants to come finish that training, or we have the online training, he can still come and do that anytime. That's always going to be open for him.
Yeah, maybe one day he'll want to come back down and see us and do that. I don't hear much because he's doing he's off grid.
Oh,
so
wow.
He doesn't even get online very much.
That takes a lot of endurance and wisdom to do that.
It does.
And things that he learned during that time, he'll be applying while he's out there off grid.
That's what I thought, because he's like up in that northern section up by, gosh, my mind just went totally blank. But all the way up in the tip, top tip of Idaho.
Yeah,
So it's like here. It's pine trees and more, but, it's heavy forest.
And while he was here, we learned how to walk on dry leaves, how to maneuver, how to find the trails, how to find what what the tracks were. We did quite a bit in just that little time.
Also, not included in that flyer because there's no charge for it. He got a health
A healing
a
chart.
healing
Yeah.
chart specific to him and taught about what his body needs, and that's just another bonus, something
That's
that's
awesome.
important and serve you well
I
the
know
rest of your life.
I know he was on like the Highlands and
Yes.
Yeah,
the
great.
Mules.
Wow.
Wonderful. So that stuck too.
He learned a lot.
yeah, he did.
But he's always more than welcome to come back and finish. And if, the online tracking course too, he can do anytime if he wants. It's always open to him.
Well, I'll let him know when I talk to him next. 'Cause
Yeah.
Well, we sure
he
want
might
to.
want to come down and see me now that I'm down here.
Yeah, and when he does, let us know. We're going to come see him too.
Gotcha. I will do that.
So what would you say to address that comment about to address this comment? Can you see it?
It's hogwash. I mean,
And
well, I think everybody here knows that.
Yeah.
good.
It's people who are afraid of something or someone, and maybe what they know are gonna say things that it's just their protection or self-defense.
Thank you. And thank you
I don't see it.
thank
I
you
just,
for
Yeah.
talking to us on such short notice too.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
It was. I got a 9-minute video I'm going to show right after we get off. It's actually of Andrew and how he maneuvers and how we was maneuvering together. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I probably have not.
It's an old video.
Do you have to go right away, or have you got a little time?
No, I'm good. I'll stick with it and watch.
Okay.
Okay, and you can stay online on the phone, and we can talk afterwards too, if you don't mind.
No worries.
Okay, so everybody, we're going to play this quick 9-minute video. It's of the young man that we're talking about, and you're going to see training that we did. It's not the running training, the endurance, the push-ups, the sit-ups, us sitting down and going over his chart, us talking about bird language. Every second I had with him, we was studying, we was doing something. We didn't have time off. The only time we had time off was to sleep. Once we was awake, even while we were eating, we were talking about maneuvers, hand-to-hand combat. Was really talking about the birds and things like that, noticing things and listening to everything around you, so you know what's abnormal and what's normal. So we're going to play this quick 9-minute video, and you're going to see a little bit of what we did in that camp that we were told that we took everybody's money, and which we did. And we're also going to talk about the other 2 candidates who were in this same course when we return also. So watch this video, and you're going to see that these people are still lying because we did not do the things that they're saying. So
I believe they owe Jerry Williams an apology, and me. They called me a liar too, and I had nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah. But here's that video. We'll be right back. So in this video, this is just part of that training. And this young man, we was teaching also to use the shadows. You know, you walk up the shadows. You don't what we call shiners. Anything that gets into the sun is going to reflect light, and anything that gets in that sun is going to be seen by any predators or anything that's around. So we practice using the shadows, walking up the shadows as far as you can go. Use that fox walk outside, especially on leaves. So you lessen that sound. You move slow, shadow to shadow. This young man, I was like, well, tell me what we're tracking. You know, find what we're tracking. And so we finally found some deer. He found the deer tracks, but they were under the leaves because the leaves dropped. But you can still see the imprint. He would lift up and say, here's the track. And we go on to the next one. Then he found some droppings, and he actually found a snake out there, also a small one. It's hard to see, but he found that also. So he learned a lot in just that little time that we had.
Definitely found the predator Bigfoot.
Yeah, he led us all the way all to those blinds and bows and pull downs. And he didn't really know exactly what these things were, but we explained later that, you know, these are what predators make and Bigfoots. And it took him a little while to really grip that these things are real. So, but I want to also ask you real fast, Susie, I know you had that talk with him about Bigfoots, and, you know, how did that conversation kind of go? Because I know he was kind of iffy.
Yeah, he was when he got back, and we had the conversation about things that we can't see, but we know there's something there. And I said, just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean that, you know, there's not things out there that you're not aware of. Just like when you and Mark were talking about when you go hunting and the signs that you see. He sees mostly bear signs. You see mostly other.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping one day you guys can go together and maybe being with each other, you'll be able to see both.
Yeah.
But that would be way cool.
Yeah, it would be. We're gonna thank you and let you finish this so we can talk about the other two.
Sounds good.
All right, and we're gonna see you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank
We'll
you
see
so
when
much.
Yeah.
When we get together, I'll make a trip over next week or something.
Okay,
That'd be awesome.
that sounds
All right.
awesome.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh, okay. So that was one of the candidates that, you know, these people said that we took their money. And
She called that statement. Put that back up again. Her grandson was the one guy that messed up and fell asleep. She called this hogwash about him taking everyone's $500. And so hogwash is another word for lie.
yeah. And so that was one of the candidates. Now there was a total of 3. The other one was a Marine Special Forces. Well, he was a Marine Special Forces guy. He was a tracker also, but he wanted to learn how Choctaws track, how we track, and to learn more about the predator Bigfoot, and to learn how to see what you can't see or what is not normal for people to see, and how to track these things. But he had to counsel. So no money was exchanged. No money was taken. We still see each other on Facebook sometimes, but he's doing his own thing. Never took a penny. And he never made it to, he had something come up with another guy, and they had to go do some things. So that's the second candidate. The third candidate was a female, a very good friend of mine's daughter. And at that time, she had a lot of chaos in her life. And her mother thought that this tracking course would help her. But when she came to the tracking course, and I know her, I've known these kids forever. I'm not their father. I haven't, not an uncle, but I've seen them grow throughout their life. I know this family very well. And the mother said, well, I ain't got $500. And she's got 3 kids and a working mother. I understand that. So I didn't charge anything. I said, well, bring her in. Well, she's a week behind, but go ahead and bring her in and we'll start there. But again, her life was a little chaotic at that time. Very argumentative. And the physical fitness, she was behind. She also didn't have the right shoes. She had flat shoes. She couldn't do the physical fitness as the young man because he's already week in. He's doing 1, 2. He's doing push-ups. He's running. He's doing his thing. He's top of the class, I guess you would say. But the female, and I love her. She's a very good friend, a friend of the family. We see them often, or as often as we can. But she said, I can't do this. I'm not. And she's talking about Andrew. She's saying he's too far ahead. I can't keep up with y'all. I can't do all those push-ups. I can't do that run. And we said, okay, well, just do what you can, and we'll come up and we'll run like that. We'll keep coming up, but just keep moving. And she couldn't do the physical fitness, and she told us that. And she had the wrong shoes also. And she couldn't do the guard duty. Let's just say there's a lot of chaos going on in her life at that time. And so I talked to her mom, and I said, you're going to have to come and pick her up because there's some things that she needs to take care of before, but she's welcome to come back. Once she has these things taken care of, she's welcome to come back to the next class, but, get her a little bit more prepared. So her mother came and picked her up, and we talked, and, we hugged. We said goodbye to each other, but we knew we was going to see each other again, and we have many times. We still hug. We still talk to each other, but she just wasn't prepared for the physical training. And she was behind because from day one we was going over the health. We was going over physical endurance. We was going over martial arts, weapons training, tracking, bird language, shadow language, translucent viewing. And she knew that she was too far behind, even though we was going to do what we could to catch her up. And, we'll, on your free time, we're going to talk about this. Free time, we'll talk about this. But she also knew that she was behind, and you could tell that she didn't really want to be forced, to do road marches, forced to do runs and things like that, which we understand. So, we talked with her mother, and her mother came and picked her up, and we all wished each other, good tidings, and we still see each other to this day.
You talked to the mother today.
Yeah, I just talked.
Online.
Yeah, you're right. I talked to the mother today also.
And she kind of laughed when she.
Yeah, when she heard about this, she laughed. She said, "No, not you." She said, whoever's saying all this stuff is, well, we're going to leave those words the way they were.
But again, so no money there.
That was, let me help you. And the other one couldn't make it. And with Andrew, he excelled, and he even went to boot camp, and he excelled in that. And he's always welcome to come back.
And you even said you wouldn't charge for him to take the online.
Yeah, and I even said that for him to finish. And with him, I also waived half the fee just to get him into the course, and because I wanted to teach, I wanted people to learn exactly what we knew to keep people safe. Because once someone learns, they go out and they teach. They help people. They keep people safe once they know what we know. So when we seen this thing flying around,
We had to address it
we had to address it. We had to address
because
it.
this person is not the only person they're saying
They're,
this
they're telling a lot of
behind the
people.
scenes to, and this affects our reputations, our livelihood, and most important of all, it affects keeping people safe because they want people to be out there gifting them and communicating with them and mind speaking with them, and we're not about that. We will never be about that. We don't want them to get hurt, even no matter how dirty they just did us and how much they backstabbed there. You know, he said, I just want to thank Jerry Williams for, he was ready to come. He had my back. He had my back. So that's how you treat someone that has your back. That's how you treat somebody like that.
Someone who stayed.
I hope I never meet you. I find you.
I stayed
Go
awake.
ahead and bite my tongue.
I stayed awake all night, waiting for a phone call. Had my gear packed. I was ready to go if they needed me.
I've seen you do that so many times.
And then I find out all this. I'm getting stabbed in the back by people who I thought were good.
Yeah, you never said anything except that they're foolish about, and we say that openly. We don't go sneak behind their backs and whisper it here in a private message and there in a private message. We say anyone, no exceptions, anyone who tries to communicate with or that thinks that these things are not always predators is being foolish, is making a mistake, is putting themselves and others in a dangerous situation. They don't have receipts for anything they said.
Yeah.
He's bringing receipts.
Yeah. So every lie that they've said that, and they're accusing me of being a liar, I just showed and proved tonight that I didn't say any of those things. I didn't do any of those things. I didn't take people's money. I didn't pow a Bigfoot like the other people were lying about.
So for that, they got the live stream booted off his channel. Now we got to go through YouTube and deal with all that on that. So it's another stab in the back because they're Bigfoot lovers, they're fools, they're gifters.
And how dirty is that to go and report that?
Yeah.
That's just dirty stuff. That's
dirty.
Dirty.
It's a nasty. Okay, I'm gonna bridle my tongue, but we presented the evidence.
Yeah. And so we're not going to have anything to do with these people. We choose not to.
We removed ourselves from, well, you got banned from a lot of groups, but I removed myself from, I think, pretty much all of them. Except a couple that are intelligent enough to realize that these things are predators. And when is a predator not a predator? Which lion do you put your child in the cage with? Which demon is okay to come through the Ouija board? So you can get your feelings hurt all you want, but you're wrong. You're going to lead other people into trouble. You're bearing false witness. You genuinely owe this man an apology. And it really should be a public apology. But it won't be. I don't see that happening. And honestly don't care, because don't care enough about you to even, other than that you are a person that God put on this planet. And we don't want anyone, even the people that we personally can't stand, and we didn't even consider you guys like that. Like he said, he thought you were friends. We don't want anybody. Nobody needs to get hurt like this. We know people that have been personally, these are the people that we personally know or know about through one of our trackers. A young man that's in and out of a mental institution now and suicidal because he got attacked by a mob of them because he did not take the warning seriously. He's not been right ever since. He's a Native American young man. My one of my lifelong friends, husband, still has PTSD 5 decades later from one trying to snatch him out of a bathtub when he was a little boy. Wasn't because he went into the woods with bad intention. Wasn't because he was bad. Wasn't because he, what other kind of crap they say. The grandmother that had to protect her young relative and the grandbaby from getting attacked as they're just trying to walk to their car. They weren't out in the woods bothering anything. They didn't have bad intentions. They weren't even into Bigfoot. And then continually harassed by, they got harassed until they don't even come online anymore. And just the harassment by the authority figures that are trying to keep their mouths shut. So that's 3 attacks right there of people directly that we know. Jim that comes on here, he's got an amazing story. Look through our videos, look through our interviews, and hear about these stories. Read those interviews and see they're all across the board saying that these things are dangerous. So if you want to go out there and make tea with them, have your pretend relationship with them, and think they're just curious because they're tapping on your window like a tarantula on an aquarium glass, you go for it. But the blood is on your hands if you lead other people to believe that it's safe to let their children be around them, to go gift them, to establish communications with them, to mind speak with them. If you are getting mind speak with them, you are being deceived. If you are getting mind speak with them, you are being deceived. Test the spirits. Test the spirits. 1 John 4:1. I don't know if you're believers. I don't know if you're Christian, but ask. Who do you say? Who is God? Test them. Ask them with your mind speak. You're being deceived. I think I'm done with that little rant.
I want to play this one little thing because, as trackers, we take all this serious. People perish if we don't do what we're supposed to be doing. And when we go out there, we have to have trust in God, and God trusts us. Because we pray before we go out to make sure we make it home. And make sure that these people that we're going to look for make it home.
Real quick, before you do that, I want to say, and here's another thing, even though we wholeheartedly, vehemently disagree with you Bigfoot lovers, we don't go to your channels bothering you. We don't report you for stupidity on your channel. We don't try to get your channel shut down. We just tell people it's a mistake. They're going to get hurt. We don't want them to get hurt. Period.
If you don't want to listen to the channel, don't come here.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
You don't want to. Thanks for misreading our book. We got the money for that, little as it is. But thank you. But we'll also thank you to stop lying about your being unable to comprehend what you read in the book. Just because you don't want something to be true doesn't make it a lie. It's as simple as that. You're being deceivers, liars, slanderers, pot stirrers. You're stirring up strife in, I don't care about the Bigfoot community. There is no such thing. But there is a body of believers, and those are the people that follow our channel. The church really just means community. And those are people who believe in the power of the Creator and His Son. Those are the people that are into this channel. Those are the only kind of people we allow to be trackers. And if you're not that, don't be here. Yeah. But leave us alone. Don't go slandering us. Don't go like a little pukey schoolgirl behind the scenes typing little messages. But somebody needs to confront them and call them out. I've seen another guy say they're a pariah and they need to be ostracized from this community. For what? For warning people? For warning your grandchildren and your children? The people that you're supposed to be protector of and guardian of?
And it's not them coming to confront us.
Yeah,
they're going around,
trying to get
sneaking
other
around and getting
it.
somebody else.
Who else does that?
Yeah.
Who else does that? The enemy?
Yeah.
That's how the enemy works. That's how the accuser works. They use their little weapons, their little agents of darkness. And that's what you're being.
Yeah. And I want to show this video. It's only 42 seconds. This is what we do. Look at it. Get that out. That's creepy.
That's trippy looking.
Kind of looks like, are we moving?
So beautiful. It does.
Are we moving?
Oh, but it's so weird.
Mom.
The effect's not quite the same on film. So we're on our way in a snowstorm to go try to find someone who's lost in the woods. You gotta say a prayer.
We go out in snowstorms. We go out at nighttime. We go out at daytime. If people get lost, we get phone calls. We go and look for them. Y'all don't go out there and look for people in snowstorms.
And people call us after foolish people like you get them into trouble because you've taught them to make themselves bait. You've taught them to gift these things. You've taught them not to protect themselves from these things. You've taught them that they're friendly forest people and alternate humans and our lost link or whatever other kind of vomit you spew. And you're putting these people in these positions, and then that's when they get themselves in so much trouble that then they have to call people like us. Because I got a situation on my hands. What do I do about it? Now they're coming in the house. Now they're on my roof. Now they're stalking my children, my grandchildren. Huh? Sure.
We're going to do some comments and catch up the best we can, see who's all here. And we want to thank y'all for being here with us.
And having to go through 3 different streams to get here. Appalachian Mountain Man is here. Says, are we get back for good this time? Yes. They left it on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says, Satan is the accuser of the brethren.
Sure
Absolutely.
is. Sure is.
Jody says, I hope so. Appalachian says, I'm glad to see y'all again. We're glad to see you too.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says, blessings again, Appalachian Mountain Man. Appalachia says, devils hate confrontation. They sure do.
They sure do.
Sneaky,
because they knew we was going to be here.
I give this man so much respect. Like, the day went even out, and we're like, let's change the stream to, we just found out this information. Let's confront it
right now.
That's what real men do. That's what real women do. That's what mature individuals do. Yeah. They don't go snickety behind the back like that.
So we found out. So let's get it up. Let's talk about it.
War Chief says,
back again.
Back again. Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Jody. Jody says, blessings, Joyce. JR is in the room.
JR
says, back again. Howdy. Hi.
There's
Graybeard. Good evening, all, for the 3rd stream. LOL.
This is our
Sorry
3rd
about
stream.
that, Dolly. But this is why we have this backup channel.
And thank y'all for coming and being here with us.
And if you haven't subbed, please do. And also hit like so this one can grow too.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Graybeard. Graybeard says, blessings, Shadow Tracker J. Appalachian says, blessings to you, Jay. War Chief says, Artic Cat's channel has been on since 2022, but has not had one post on it. Isn't that amazing? These people that always want to correct everybody else, but they have 0 content.
And we know they're a liar.
Yeah,
we just proved that tonight.
Like 4 lies within their thing.
And we know both of them.
A coward, because we
said,
you be the first guest.
Yeah.
Come on in. You be the first guest. This was on the very first stream that someone had shut down.
Yeah.
Shadow Tracker J says, great tracking, War Chief Tracker C. Mm-hmm. Tracker 17 says, okay, back again, me too. Tracker 17 says, I note also, War Chief, Arctic Cat has no content. Funny that, eh? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and I haven't seen content from the other ones either. War Chief says, hey, where's my monitor tool? We'll get that fixed after the live stream because we couldn't do it
at the same time
during the stream. or we don't know how. Tracker 17 says, I'm seeing that War Chief. Send him a text. Shadow Tracker J says, mine's missing too. We'll take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Jody says, great channel, LTE. Thank you, Jody.
All right.
That was me coming in, letting you know about the mod situation. Shadow Tracker J says, no problem. Deborah Mueller. Hey. Tracker 17 says, halito to Deborah. Shadow Tracker J's blessing Deborah. Deborah says, hello, Cube. Good to see you. Night's Watch. Glad you're here and sorry to hear about your grandma. He says, arrival of evil equals spider equals Nephilim. Tomato, tomato. No difference in what is being said other than different religions of the world ought to make a forced differentiation on whoever that was. Thank you.
Yes.
War Chief says, halito to Deborah. Night's Watch says, in different regions. It's the same story, in other words.
Sure is. Told around the world.
Jody says, his reaction to your knowledge of the spiders was very interesting. He knew exactly what you were saying. Yes, talking about the video that he showed earlier with Gary Sykes Jr., the one apparently telling people that he caught Jerry in several small lies and one big one, but has yet to ever try to address Jerry about it directly.
And not one is a lie.
And the video's lost, so he can't prove it.
But we still have that video, that part.
The Night's Watch says, anyway, sorry, keep going. Bernice is here. Good.
Bernice.
She says, hey, good evening from Tracker B here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming in, Tracker B. Tracker 17 says, no, you're good at the Night's Watch. Deborah says, War Chief and Shadow Tracker J, always great to sit with each of you. Mm-hmm. Susie Newman is here. She's the grandmother that came in. Mm-hmm. And
helped to address the hogwash.
Yeah.
I love that.
War Chief says, hola, Bernice Dubois.
That's Oklahoma talk.
Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Tracker B. Tracker 17 says, halito and hola, Bernice. War Chief says, halito, Susie Newman. Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Susie. Tracker 17 says, halito, Susie. Ann is here. Says, me too. Hi. We're so glad to see you in the chat. Bernice says, no one is told to hunt them. Exactly.
Yeah, we don't want anybody out there doing that.
War Chief says, halito, Ann.
We'll deter them.
Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Ann. Bernice says, we are told to protect ourselves and family. Yes,
sure
and
are.
she knows firsthand.
Sure are.
She's teaching a lot of people. Yep. Tracker 17 says, halito, Ann. Ann says, War Chief, hey. Susie says, safety first. Exactly. What's so hard to comprehend about that? Ann says, blessings, Shadow Tracker. Do you recommend that somebody go up and feed a bear? I mean, how many times have we watched those stupid videos of... There was a TikTok. Just the other day.
The guy put some food out from his car window and the bear started running at the car.
Yeah. And he goes, like he didn't expect that. Duh. It's people like this that...
The TikTok guy goes, what did you expect the bear to do? He put food out there.
I know about bears, Mo.
That's a bear.
I know about cats. That's a cat. And it says, blessing, Shadow Tracker. And halito to Tracker 17. The Night's Watch says, gifting equals sacrificing. Yes. Whether that's money, time, or energy. Not a good idea. Exactly. Shadow Tracker J says, you tell him, LTE. And says, foolish, not just lonely old women. We have seen many who are nuts enough to do the gifting. That is true. But the most vulnerable are the children and JR says, Arctic Flat Cat. War Chief says, Arctic Cat, in my opinion, is a jackal in disguise.
Yeah, especially with no content and all that.
And wouldn't come on. Invited him in. Oh, no, I don't go on the channel. Wanted to come in audio.
Wanted to throw lies.
Yeah, see if something stuck. Wanted to cast accusations, but couldn't back any of it up.
Couldn't back it up. Didn't want to stay to hear the answer.
Tracker 17 says, so where's Arctic Cat now? Not seeing him here. Two apologies for his verbal missteps. No. I blocked him from this channel. Once the other one got banned because of either someone reporting it or the stupid things he was saying, he or she, because they said that they were getting us on FIRE arms.
Probably that KIL word.
Yeah.
That they were using.
So it was either the stupid lies that they were saying or it was people reporting, or a combination of both. But I didn't want that to happen again. So before we even opened the stream, I said, let's go ahead and block them. But before that, we were inviting them in, and had that not happened,
We didn't know there was that
we
big of
would
a
have
snake.
invited them over here. But they're a Bigfoot lover.
Yeah,
And a
snakes
fool.
too.
Tracker 17 says, so we're, Tracker 17 says, yeah, War Chief. War Chief says 17, that person will never apologize. Oh no, but they'll go kiss the rear end of the predator Bigfoots. Tracker 17
And they'll
says,
sure lie.
and we will not tolerate his kind here.
Not
That's
anymore.
right, nope. And says, none of them ever apologizes, War Chief. No, they don't.
Yeah.
JR says, it was a 10-foot possum.
Yeah, yeah.
Inside joke.
Inside joke.
War Chief says, LOL JR. Shadow Tracker J's laughing at JR. Deborah Mueller says, appreciate the recast. Did I miss one?
War Chief says, laugh out loud, JR.
Oh, okay.
And Shadow Tracker says, JR laughing. Oh, there's what Gibber's saying. Appreciate the recast.
Uh-huh. Ann says, late equals me, but we're just glad you made it in.
Yeah.
Night's Watch says, all right, off to bed. I'll finish in the morning. Good night, y'all.
All
Good
right.
night to you, too.
Good night to you, too.
Thank you for coming in, and your comments were good. Ann
Yeah.
says, tonight's Watch. Lamont Cherie.
Le Monde
You see her?
Chérie.
She says, sorry to be late. I'm catching up after the show. Halito, Lamont Cherie.
Halito.
Shadow Tracker J says, good night
Night watch.
to the Night Watch. And
Yeah.
no, that's me. Saying good night. Tracker 17 says, sleep well, Night Watch.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yes, very. Shadow Tracker J says, blessings, Lamont Cherie. 17 says, halito, Lamont Cherie. Tracker B says, Y is also a leader, or any leader, animal, or human, always has to have a big scar on their face.
Yeah, that's right.
Tracker 17 says, to a researcher, unseen movements a big deal, but trackers catch it much earlier than every so-called researcher. Far out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lamont Cherie says, prayers and love to all. To you too.
Yeah.
Susie says, my grandson came down for this from Montana and learned a lot while he was here. He trained and was provided for.
Yep. 3 meals a day.
There's
Hot
the
coffee.
receipts. Ann says, Lamont Cherie, giving her love and prayers. Shadow Tracker J says, need to get some sleep. Good night, my brothers and
Oh,
sisters.
okay.
Yeah, I know you already went to bed, but good night.
Oh,
War Chief says, good night, Shadow Tracker J. Sleep restful from Tracker 17. Jody says, sleep well, Shadow Tracker J. Tracker 17 says, halito, Jody. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. Jody says, hi, good morning, question mark, because he's in Australia. Nice to see you in real time. Love your work. 17 also put your link in the chat. Y'all sub to his channel. It's growing quickly, and he works really hard.
I got a lot of information for you.
He's training right now. He's training someone there in Australia, so we know Australia's going to be safer for it. Tracker 17 says, thank you, Jody. Sometimes it's fun walking among the predators. LOL. Fun is in quotes. Jody says, ha ha, you wear it well, but I do get tense for you. Tracker 17 says, thank you, Jody. Jesus walks with me, and I know when to withdraw.
There you go.
Tracker 17 says, Arctic Alley Cat, you coming on to apologize now? Tracker 17 says, guess not. Funny that. They wouldn't if they could have got in. They wouldn't. They were not interested in the truth, or they'd have just waited to see what we presented.
Yeah.
Jody Albrecht says that's the smartest tracking advice, 17. She's talking about having the Holy Spirit with you.
Yep.
Tracker 17 says, Jody, here I can't legally own a pew, so I must tread carefully. Tracker 17 says, 100%, Jerry. The student becomes the teacher in whichever region they're at. Yes, and he was saying just the other day, we were talking about how proud we are of you.
And all the
trackers, you're all teaching.
You're all
Yes,
teaching out there,
yes.
and you're all finding exactly what you need to find.
Jody, and doing your part to warn people.
Yeah.
We would be so evil to know that something evil is out there that wants to hurt someone, and you don't tell them. That's just as wicked as the thing doing the harming. Jody says, I do understand, Cuban. Please continue too. War Chief says, defamation against anyone is a crime.
It is.
Tracker 17 says, yes, War Chief, and foolish is a relative term. It means a lack of knowledge in someone. Backstabbing is a different matter and more serious to an extreme. True. Judy Albrecht says, God works in wondrous ways. Daniel shows us that even in slavery, God had his back. That's right. Tracker 17 says, yes, and Daniel fasted many times in his slavery. Fasting brings us closer to our Creator in a good way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jesus said, when you fast, not if you fast. Tracker 17 says, fasting brings protection also, Jody. The Yowie Bigfoot predators can feel it too. Listen, these are the kind of people that are in our channel. These are our trackers. And these, yeah. Elastic Machinery says, I went back and listened to the audio. I only know Spike Sr. as a mod. You offer to help and shoot up to find them if need be, and they slander you. Thank you.
Yeah, they did.
Jody Albrecht says, Attic Cat needs to fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elastic Machinery says, no good deed goes unpunished. I've always heard that. I don't know where that originated from, but I've quoted it myself a time or two.
Yeah.
It's backfired on us so many times. But, you know, God's got his own plans.
Yeah.
When we go literally, physically helping people, and then they turn around later and try to stab us in the back, but it never comes to anything good for them.
Never works.
You know, God always takes care of us. And we always have receipts.
Mm-hmm.
Tracker 17 says, Halitoid Elastic Machinery. Tracker 17 says, agreed, Jody. War Chief says, anyone who thinks that they can call a warrior tracker a liar without fight is sorely mistaken. That's
Boy,
right.
that's true, because once we heard, we said, no, we got to address this right now.
Yeah, get it out of the way. Elastic Machine, so you can go gossip in your little group, but it sounds like you only do it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Elastic Machinery says, hey, Tracker 17, sad state of affairs, but that's their issue. Yep, they can get themselves into, get themselves out of that situation.
And we're good friends if you're our friend.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
We'll be right here, thick and thin.
Tracker 17 says, also agreed, Elastic. Jody says, thank you, Cube. I'm going to check out your advice on fasting. Ann says, always be honest. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, spider web. Truth will never be cast aside for liars.
That's right.
Tracker 17 says, oh, Halito, Graybeard. I'm sorry I missed you too.
Hey.
Graybeard says, not a problem, Tracker 17. It's hard to tally all the names in chat. Why I only say hi all, LOL. Me too. Me too. Ann says, game over for them, right?
Game over. Yeah.
But there'll still be people, they'll never bother to come hear what we say, or if they hear it, they won't receive it. They'll say, they're just lying. You know,
even
people
though
hear what they want to
we
hear.
proved that we're not lying.
They won't go back and say, no, wait, I listened to their video and you're wrong, you're mistaken.
Yeah, because in that video, they said they didn't. They said they did this in your video.
And even Senior, who's upset because he's getting mind speak and knows them, he's saying, well, he didn't spread that lie. We had a question mark on the title of the other one. He calls us liars, or what did it say? Question mark. That's because we wanted him to come talk to us. The invitation, the floor is yours. Let's hear what you got to say. But then he told the person, it wasn't him, it was his son that said that. Well, you're still spreading that information. That makes you a liar too. That makes you a talebearer also. And listen, do not give anyone a hard time about defending their friends. You have no business trying to tell people not to be our friend. We don't care who's your friends. We don't care. Let them be. But don't be telling other people they can't be our friends. But this is about him calling us liars. Well, this is what Jerry said, and that person said, yes, exactly right. That's what he said to me after I shared your Mound Builders music to...
Let me see if I can find it.
So the Sykes is a moderator on a lot of channels, so he's got control. So we wouldn't bother with the channels that he's a mod on, unless he's on PRT, but I don't remember ever seeing his name. I'm a mod on there. But I wouldn't bother going into them other groups if that's the kind of foolishness. Okay, if that's the kind of foolishness that they allow. Why would we bother to go in there and give views to a lie, to putting people in danger? Hold on. Where are we at? Where are we? Can I? Hold on. He's gonna take a break for just a second. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna scroll down. Elastic Machinery says, it's like y'all said, they don't want to hear what you have to say to clarify or set the matter straight. The one lying has no interest in anyone hearing the truth, and their cohorts will react so poorly. Exactly. He also says that they would rather live with a lie than apologize. Yep, then that can be between them and God, but we did have the right to provide our own evidence. I can't tell what that is. Elastic says, hey, Bernice, would love to hear more updates soon. Praying for your family. We were talking about that last week. We do want to get her back in. Good block LTE, says Jody. Tracker 17 says, okay, delighted the cat is gone. Yeah, they were just spewing foolishness. Tracker 17 put his link. Y'all check that group out. Hey, Bernard is here. He says, sorry I missed the live. Hello and good night all. We'll definitely watch after. Good, Bernard. We tried to have it on the other channel and YouTube blocked it, shut it down. And well, we'll explain when you go back and watch this one. Ann says, they know they lied. Not man enough or honest enough to face that. It's all on them. Yep, they got to feel so foolish when they watch this because they'll pretend they didn't watch it. They may, okay. They may pretend they didn't watch it. They watched it. They will watch it. They won't be able to stand not watching it. But they're not going to go back and tell people. Ann says, we are your people. You have our backs and we have yours. Simple as that. Loyalty, honesty, and faith. Thank you. Jody says, warriors play best with warriors. That's right. The conversation's different at a warrior's table, right? And people have been tossing that word around a lot here lately. People that are, well, I'll let that go. War Chief says, well, I need my beauty rest and I never seem to get enough of it. Have a good sleep, War Chief. Tracker 17 says, sleep well, War Chief. Tracker C, mid Arvo here now. I'm not sure what he meant to write there, or else I don't understand. Tracker 17 says, 1 Samuel 17:48. That's our patch, and that the trackers run towards the trouble, just as David ran towards Goliath.
Sure do.
And I think that's the end of the chats. And then, okay, so one of the songs that we're going to play too tonight, before we head out, are you going to put one of those out?
Well, I want to see if I can find that one.
And let me say something. If you go back and try to give this person that actually they just wanted to know, they weren't trying to tattle or anything. They wanted to, because you had said somebody needs to confront them about these lies or something along those lines. They wanted to know, is this true? Is this not true? And they addressed us privately. And then they went back and talked to Spikes.
Yeah, this is Senior,
and said, I confronted him.
Yeah.
Meaning Jerry, to find what's this all about. They're saying you're a liar and you took this money from these people. And I said, could have them on the show, or you could get together and talk. And then that didn't happen. They weren't willing to do that. So that's why we set up the stream, to talk about it and to give him, again, another opportunity. And he knows that that opportunity was there because he said, he came on the post where Jerry put it up announcing the live stream that got shut down. He said, where's that one? Well, basically, he said, you need to get your facts straight before you say,
Open your mouth.
before you open your mouth.
Well,
Okay,
talk for a
come on and
liar.
talk to us.
Yeah.
Come on and talk to us. You get our facts straight. Wasn't me caught you, it was Junior. You need to get your facts straight before you shoot off your mouth. Okay, Spikes Senior. Were
Yeah.
you not shooting off your mouth about Jerry? And did you not just, were you not just provided all the evidence that what your son Junior is saying was a lie?
And even at
So
the very
you're going to
bottom.
get your facts straight before you shoot off your mouth?
Yeah.
You're spreading that rumor too.
Even at the bottom of this, when I said, don't really know, but thought he was a good guy till I found out he's been talking about us behind our backs.
And you admit that right there. And you really did.
Yeah.
You've never said anything but that these, listen, Spikes Senior, we were genuinely concerned and offended that Spikes Jr. giggled about you and your girlfriend being pulled up a mountain in a sleeping bag. What was your feeling during that? Did you think it was cool? Did you think it was funny? Were you laughing then? Or were you scared out of your mind? What if Spikes Jr. hadn't been there as a different person? You'd have been a burrito. You were a stupid burrito in a bag out there.
You were being dragged.
You're going to come back and bash on the only some of the only people that are out there
And here's that
warning about that kind of thing.
And here's all that.
So you better not go back.
He says that was
Let me
told
put
to
it
me
this
by
way.
Gary
I'm not
Spike
saying you
Sr.
better not, but I'm saying you'll be an extra jerk if you go back and try to give this person a hard time for trying to find out the truth, because you certainly weren't telling it.
Yes, don't be going back to that person.
Do
and saying,
not,
why
because
did
we'll
you...
call you out publicly about that too.
Yeah.
Do not give them a hard time. They didn't do anything wrong. They heard a lie.
Those are
about
friends
their
of
friend,
ours.
And
Yeah.
they were asking, is this true? What's this all about? We showed what that was all about.
Yeah.
We showed that you're lying. You're spreading lies. Your son's lying.
And
We showed the evidence
yeah.
of the video that you can't find and he can't find.
Yeah. And here's the one, if you read this bottom, it said that was told to me by Gary Spikes Sr. And they got cut down for being friends of ours. And this is the one that he said that we took the money from people.
We brought this kid's grandmother in.
Yeah.
He's a young man now. And she talked on this. So what you going to say about
So
that?
and he's still
Are you gonna
helping
correct
spread those lies.
You going to correct it?
So that's still lying.
Sure is. And talk to your little alley cat too, Arctic Cat,
Yep.
and let them know also that that was a lie. All they're doing is spewing stuff. They weren't even, they're just repeating what you said. And then you're trying to throw your own son under the boat. It wasn't me.
Yeah. It
I said it, but it wasn't me. It was my son.
I
I want to be in the woods with you.
was,
You'll
He's
throw
like-
somebody under the bus
he
quick.
sure
And
would.
he'll laugh when you get drug up a mountain. Y'all are pathetic.
Yeah.
For real. No loyalty there.
Yeah.
We don't think it's cool you were dragged up a mountain. Even after this
Yeah.
nonsense, even after this slander and these lies, we still don't want you dragged up a mountain.
No.
Get your head together. Repent for communicating with these things. Go back and read the book. Read Mind Protection Technique on how to block that mind speak that's happening to you because you are being communicated with by predators. By predators. And right now, you're a useful tool. You're a useful tool. But someday, that restrainer is going to be lifted. Your day's going to come. If you don't repent and get yourself right with God, and clearly you're not, because you're not handling things biblically. You get yourself right. Repent for the lies. That's between you and God. We don't care. We don't care what you think of us. Your opinion means absolutely zero to us. But your safety does mean something to us, and your soul does mean something to us. We don't have to like you for that. We don't have to trust you for that. You just have to be somebody that God put here. You're just a lost sheep being deceived. You've got voices in your head or pictures in your head that are lies. You're being deceived. If your son's doing it, he's being deceived. If Arctic Cat is doing it, communicating with these things, that person is being deceived. You're being lied to. You're putting yourself in danger. You need to pray. Pray to the Creator. Pray to the Most High. Quit communicating with these and making them your idols.
Yeah.
Quit. You're doing nothing better than being on a Ouija board. It's the same kind of foolishness. It's the same kind of danger. Don't care if you agree with it. Just remember these words, and maybe you'll be a little bit more careful. But pray for God to break that connection, because they got a hold of you good, and your mind is twisted. Your mind is twisted to where you're lying about people. You're being a coward, and even that, whatever. People's opinions really don't matter. What matters to us is our commission, what God thinks of us, what we were told to do, what we know that we're supposed. The Holy Spirit impresses upon us that we need to be doing, and what we need to be warning people about and preparing people about. Good Lord, there's so many people that gossip about us. Jesus promised that would happen to any of his true believers. That means nothing to us, but what does mean something to us is that one lost sheep, and anybody praising these things is a lost sheep that's being easily deceived. And you mean something to Jesus. He died for you too. Yeshua died for you too. For me, for everyone. So you mean something to him, and he says, take care of his people. Well, this is our way of taking care of his people, even the stupid ones, even the foolish ones, even the stubborn ones, the blind ones, the deaf ones, and I mean spiritually blind and deaf.
We still got work to do.
We sure do, and so do you. So do you. You're pushing this slop that they're good. That blood's going to be on your hands.
Yep.
You've been informed of the truth. We're responsible for what we know. Once you have knowledge, you carry the weight of that knowledge. You can't keep it a secret. You have the knowledge. It's been given to you.
You got the book. It's there.
You got the Bible. I mean, we said several verses today. But the most important one that you need to be reading is to test the spirits. Do it. See what happens. See what happens if you've been gifting them.
Ask them if
When
they
you
eat
don't
people.
Gift them. Yeah, ask them if they eat people. They drug you up a mountain. If that doesn't,
Or
if
down a mountain.
that down a mountain, up a mountain, down a mountain, I don't care. They drug you in your sleeping bag, and your girlfriend. You should have been protecting her. You were the man. You both were the men.
You know,
You
wrapped
weren't
up
protecting her.
wrapped up like a burrito.
Did she think it was funny? Did she
Sleeping.
think it was cool? Did she think they were good?
You got caught sleeping. When people sleep,
And you're who people take advice from? You think that they saved your life twice. Listen. A predator person may take care of someone for years and years and years. But it just takes, as long as they're useful. Right now, you're a useful, what they would call a useful idiot, honestly. Someone that is easy to manipulate. You're bringing people in. What you're doing, because these things are demonically influenced. You're bringing people in. You're bringing people over to that side or communicate with them. Sure. Tell people it's nothing to worry about. Don't be afraid of little old me. No, they're sweet. No, they're sweet. Are they so sweet? You would go up and hug. Would you put your grandbaby in their arms? Are they that sweet? You're being deceived. Your food in the pantry. And more than your body, the demons that are in these things and run with these things and use these things and that are in their bloodlines, they want your soul. And as long as you're communicating with them and singing their praises, you might as well be telling people to go get on a Ouija board, like I said. It's no different.
If that mind is open, other things are coming in too.
We love nature. We love animals. He doesn't even hunt deer anymore. We love nature. Both of us have been in it our whole lives. You know, like seriously to an extreme. We have nothing against God's creations. But the Lord, the Bible says, when he gave Adam and Eve, he could put the animals here, then he made Adam and Eve, and he said, subdue them. Subdue the earth. Name the animals. You're over the animals. These animals they're not supposed to be part of our bloodline. Beast is not supposed to be mixed with human. Beast is not supposed to be mixed with man. Those aren't God's creations. They don't have the fingerprint of God. They have stolen human DNA, stolen man DNA. Go back and start with Genesis. Start over, because you're putting so many people in danger. I don't care if you hate my guts. I honestly don't care. But stop putting people in danger. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. And you lied.
Yeah, and you lied.
Elastic says, it's like y'all said, they don't want to hear.
But did you read some of these?
I think I did, yeah. Are there more?
Warriors play best with warriors.
Yeah, we read that one. Oh, War Chief. Okay, below Samuel.
Okay,
Arvo means afternoon, LTE. Okay, thank you, Trucker 17. Jody says, to be honest, Ella, this was a powerful evidence of your truth. I know God works like that, doesn't he? It's so awesome.
I'm surprised we still
It
had
was
that
amazing
video.
that he still had that. And that it's only been very recently that Susie really came back into our into our lives, and we're supposed to go track with her soon and teach her some things, and that's just been like seriously within the last month.
That's why we say God's so far ahead of us.
He's so far ahead. He's ahead
We're
of
just
all
catching
these
up.
schools. And Tracker 17 says, spikes, pikes out, slang for running away. This lot needs to apologize to you both.
Sure
Tracker
do.
17 says, useful tool becomes a useful idiot, and then gulp later. Mind speakers got to stop that contact. Yes.
They sure do.
Elastic Machinery says, that's so crazy, and why? When Jerry and Ella genuinely helped so many people. Strange way to apologize to Jerry and Ella. I'm telling you. He says,
we risk our own lives to,
right.
to go.
You really look like a jerk, Junior.
To be
Listen
on
to
call
video.
to go and find them if something happens, and stayed up, ready to go, and then we get stabbed in the back.
Yeah, and why you drawing me in? I was never even in that conversation. I didn't even know him back then. Yeah. Elastic Machinery says, that's wild. I agree. Ann says, I'm heading to rest. You have more than made your case about the lies. I hope we never hear from any of the spikes again. Thank you, Ann. Ann says, good night, all. Tracker 17 says, good night, Ann. Have a good sleep. Jody says, good night, Ann. Elastic Machinery says, ask how they feel about Jesus Christ, the Son of Creator God. Thank you. Do it. See what they say.
Yep.
And Elastic says, good night, Ann. Jody says, interesting question. Scott Carpenter asked him the same question. I'm sure you knew that, though. No, actually, I didn't. Jody says, scary stuff, Elastic. And Jody says, tick, sorry, tiny screen. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're all caught up on the chats. I'm all done with my ranting.
And we proved that we didn't lie one time, even though that's what they're spreading around.
We've been accused of it so many times. They never have any receipts. They never can come back with anything, and that's God. That's God.
And we can't lie. I mean, if you lie, it's going to come back.
It will. We've literally told people, and it might be a tiny thing, and they'll say, could you sign this? And Well, no, because then we won't have the covering. We won't be
Yeah.
protected. You know, and it might seem just like the tiniest thing. Like, we want to stay protected with what we do. We need the spiritual protection.
Yeah.
We're not getting attacked in our home. And,
We're not getting mind speak.
because we take that, yeah.
We're not getting shadows in the house. We're
Yeah,
not getting things walking on the roof.
We pray constantly throughout the day. Serious. We take it really, really serious. No joke. And you should too. And the Bible says be in constant prayer.
Yeah.
That just means have a conversation with them. When you're busy yapping in your head, be yapping to the Father. Elastic says, yes, Jody, these voices will of course lie about what they are. Got to test the spirits and pray for discernment. That helped me in a scary situation once. You're exactly right, because the devil is a liar. You don't. They're going to tell you what you want to hear,
Yeah.
and they're going to twist it. But you need to keep on, press on, and pray for the Holy Spirit to give you discernment. That's exactly right, and a good point to make there, Elastic. He says, thanks for setting it straight too. I witnessed firsthand the subject arise in my digital presence. Thank you. Yeah, the people that are in this chat right now, everybody that came in once Arctic left that other, as far as the ones in the chat, every single one of them is a spiritual warrior. Every single one of you has faith, and we're glad you're out there, and we're grateful to you for.
And that's why we're quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't just have anybody here. We need prayer warriors. We need people on the same page, praying together, praying for each other, taking care of each other. We don't need that riffraff, those chaos causers and things like that. That's not what we need to be focused. When we stay focused on God, we're going to do great things. But those other people are all over the place, talking to demons, talking to whatever.
Can someone
That's
tell
not
me
us.
what that little purple crown means? Jody says, I love this group. And Trekker17 says, thank you for saying so, Ella. God's army, even on their other side of this world.
Yep.
And Jody says, I love this group. We love you too. We love all of y'all. Oh,
Hey, Tracker, hey.
She says, I can say that y'all are truth tellers. Everything y'all have told me when we first met to try to get rid of the Bigfoot worked. I know y'all speak the truth. God bless y'all and much love to y'all. We miss you.
Yeah, we missed you.
Yeah, we love you and thank you for being
great. Here. Yeah, great you're here.
Tracker17 says, I see it too. I think it means contributor, Ella.
I don't know.
It's something new we never noticed before.
We got more.
Oh, Elastic Machinery says the purple crown is proof your stream is real, is genuinely real, no bots. Good, thank you for that.
There was
so does the number 50 mean there's 50
people watching,
people viewing, and 11
in chat?
Or what does the number 50 mean? And thank you for that. He says means you have a great reputation despite the spikes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elastic.
All right.
Appreciate that. So we'll go ahead and pray and let everybody get to bed, and thank you for being here with us. You had to have a lot of patience tonight. Mm-hmm. Father, we thank you that you brought everything to hand and to mind that we needed, that you let Susie join us so that she could prove that the people who would wish to slander us are liars. And we just thank you for it all, Lord. You're so far ahead of everyone that it makes us laugh almost every day. And we laugh in absolute respect and gratitude. We love you, Lord, and we thank you just as much for the people that you remove from our lives as the people that you bring into our lives. We pray your covering and your protection even over the stupid people, Lord, even over your lost sheep, even over the people that are deceived, that are willfully ignorant, that just don't know what they don't know. And we pray your protection over the people that they have influence over, Father. We pray that you will just reveal the danger of these predators to everyone, Lord, please. You know how serious we are. We love you, Father. We thank you for your protection. We pray that you'll help us get it cleared up on YouTube on the other channel so that we can reach more people. But that's all in your hands, and you know exactly what to do, and your timing is always perfect. We love you, Father. God bless everyone in here. In Jesus' name, in the name of Yeshua, amen.
All right, so
That's it. So did we play Mound Builders yet?
no.
The song we're playing as we leave, and we may come back for just a couple comments after real fast. But that's the person that tried to share the Mound Builders music. So, and that's where we were recently. We were in Mississippi for the stickball games.
War games, yeah.
And for the war games, yeah, it's very serious. And while we were there, one of the things we did was attend the mound ceremony. And after that ceremony, Jerry was inspired to write this song. And this is one of the songs in that playlist. Y'all check it out. I'm not sure. I don't think it's on this channel, but it's on
I got it.
Sasquatch Choctaw channel, or maybe somebody can put the playlist link in there for us. Beautiful. And these are the songs that he's Spike Senior is telling people they don't put them on there. As a moderator, he's banning that song. I guess he's banning. He told the person don't put it on. But listen to the beautiful words of these songs, and this is one of them. And, again, you'll just look like a fool. Good night. If we don't come back.
Southern down, swarm bound, speaking past lives before, seeing once more. We grow the mound. Same life once bound. Life changes now. The builders takes the walk of the talk of bloodline. Same still around. Swamp tractors, mountain Choctaw cousins keep snakes at bay away. As days to nights we meet to see our pain. The legends of lore, standing down to the setting sun when generations play today. Each taught by their own memories, giving ground while building mounds with helpful sounds and a watchful eye. To the darkest of hearts, brothers hold tight for what is right. Continue to build this mound, showing right ways home. To respect the stand, to find the land beneath their feet. Words of wisdom, fathers mold the untold stories that raise the eyes of the ones building the children's mouths.